Hey there, tubers. Redneck Brian here. It's apart. Didn't take me too long. There's the carburetor sitting right there on the tire. The float doesn't seem to be too bad. It's just really corroded in there. This thing must have been sitting for about a year. I very much doubt sitting all winter with bad gas would have did this. So, and it does have one of these guys on it. You can even see how corroded that is. This is why my gas was not working, because this here was stuck. So basically whenever I put power to this thing to fire this thing up, and actually I don't even know if this thing was really working. That could have been why it wasn't running right, because the key doesn't work. So that's actually making me think here, this guy wasn't even working. That's possibly why it was running like a bag of shit. I had no power. Well, I'm surprised it even ran. So, yeah, but this guy's freed up now, so basically I gotta either get that ignition fixed or put my other ignition in this, because with this here you need key on power, and this thing has no key on power the way I fired it up. So that's probably why it shot all the gas past the cylinder, I'm guessing, or this thing was also stuck. So that's my guess. That's all apart. Here's the dash. When I had the gas tank out, I think I'm gonna have enough room to mount my stereo right here. I should. By looking at it, I'm going to. It's pretty close to the steering, but I think I'll be just alright, because that mounting plate I have makes the stereo stick out a little bit more than it would normally. If I have to, I can put a filler plate in there as well, so that's not a big deal. But other than that, the engine's fairly clean here. Doesn't look too bad. This carburetor obviously has never been off. This carburetor's never ever in its life been off. Surprisingly, the gasket's still good. So it's hard to really say if it's ever been off or not. Sure doesn't seem like it. And the way how tight the bolts were, I don't think this hood's ever been off, and any of this has ever been touched. So it's really hard to say. But one thing I do, like I said before, I like about these type, I got the separate choke line, so I can just pop this choke out of here. Let's see if it'll come like that. Pop that out of there, and I got the longer one I salvaged off the old tractor and stick it in. So put that back in there for now, because I still plan on driving this around a little bit. Here's the float ball. Yeah, pretty bad in there. I'm just going to sit this in a small container and soak it in carb cleaner. I'm not going to buy a new float ball for it, because this thing, if it does end up just getting the other engine, there's no real point doing that. So here's the electrical connection. So imagine if I was to even just do positive 12 volts to here, it would probably run. So the electrical, that's probably going to take me a couple hours to figure out what does everything. Safeties I'm probably going to keep in place. I don't even know if the solenoid works on this. I sprayed that ignition a few times to try to free it up, but it hasn't yet, so I'm going to spray it more tonight before I go to work, and probably spray it again when I get home from work. So this thing's it's fairly weather beaten. It's a 42-inch deck, but it's actually a good 42-inch deck. The deck seems to be pretty solid. I haven't seen the middle of it, but the deck seems to be pretty solid. Got no spark plug in it still right now because of that problem I was having. So I imagine that's why it would not run correctly, because that there wasn't, I believe it goes down. So it might have went down a little bit and it just got stuck. Hard to say. I gotta check that float out still, so see if that float's any good. But normally with a plastic float, they don't really go bad, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this engine for now. Hopefully in the next video I will have it running. Also, I gotta fix this. Yeah, that's another reason why I don't think this guy was very handy. This was just hanging there, and he told me, oh, to start it, just press that button in. Normally, like, you depress the brake. The brake's on right, no, actually the brake's not on right now, but you normally press the brake down. This one has the system, when you press the brake down, you can set it into park, so brakes are off right now. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this for now. It's getting there. It's gonna be it should be running by tomorrow. I gotta do some stuff tomorrow, so I'm running around, so hopefully I will get time to work on this. Probably later in the evening I'll be working on this, but I'll come out here periodically and spray it down with penetrating oil and stuff like that on the ignition and stuff like that to try to get that freed up and see if I can make it work. And if I do swap the engine out, I'm going to have to take the other side panel off. I don't know about the front yet, but the other side panel will have to come off so I can do the oil lines for the other engine. Because as you know, I got to drill a hole in here in this space to accept my oil lines. So that will be decided on tomorrow, or sorry, next week, if I plan on doing that or not. So, or I might just try to sell that engine. Just say it runs but it needs work. That's all I'd do. Probably get a couple $100 for it, and I put that money right into this one, which is not a big deal to me. So, okay, I'll talk to everyone later. I'm rambling on there a little bit, but I just want to show you one little quick look at the carb. Here she is. One thing I noticed, right in this bigger hole, that's where the main throttle lever goes, and the secondary one has a little tiny, if I can find it here it is, little tiny spring. Other ones I've worked on, they shared the same hole. This one here has it in its own hole. It's something different I've never seen before. Okay, bye for now.